Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a pick a card reading on what is your next step. So I've done this pick a card reading before. There's probably a couple others in my pick a card reading folder. So if you would like any more additional information, search my pick a card reading folder. You'll probably find a couple more videos on your next step. But I'm really hoping that this video will find you at the perfect time. So many of you guys have been hitting me up lately telling me, I don't know what my next step is. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I do have one piece of advice for you guys. Sometimes it's hard for you to tap in and receive the next step, first of all, because you're disconnected from nature and you need to come out here. The answers really do become so much clearer when you quiet your mind and you find solitude and you relax. But also, maybe it's because you don't really have a clear vision on what you want overall. So I recently posted a video called Tutorial How to Make a Vision Board. And check it out. It's a really simple way for you to make a vision board using Pinterest to get all of your ideas in one place. And usually it's not until you make that vision board or until you actually kind of decide what your goal is that you start getting the guidance to receive the next step. So this is a general reading. It may not apply to everyone. And I'm using my Enchanted Tarot. It's a new deck, so I'm going to be using the book a little bit. Hope you guys don't mind. But go ahead and pick a number. Number 1, number 2, or number 3 to receive your message on what next step you're supposed to take. So if you choose number 1, your card is the Devil. Now don't freak out. This isn't a bad card. It actually offers some really beautiful advice. And look how gorgeous this card is. I absolutely love this deck. So this is saying that sometimes you have to wear the mask and play the game. So, for instance, if you're dating, if you're trying to know what the next step is to, receive a partner, to, draw a love. Oh my God, these birds are so beautiful, you guys. ADD, I'm like squirrel. If you guys are trying to receive guidance on like what it is exactly you're supposed to do when it comes to love life, sometimes you have to play the game. Sometimes this is something I'm learning as an Aquarius, because we're just very straightforward and we just if we want someone, we just kind of go at it. But sometimes you have to play hard to get, Sometimes you can't be too easy. Have you guys ever heard that classic love advice? That's definitely applying to this. Sometimes you have to play the game. I was talking to someone recently who's actually trying to bid on a house. And so we were talking about, this card came out for them about playing the game, about having to, maybe act like they're interested in something else and, not just slam down as much money as they can up front, but just kind of play the game and push it a little bit. And just, you kind of go back and forth little by little when you're bidding on a house. And it's frustrating because you just want to be like, here's the money. This is what I'm willing to offer. Let me buy the house. But it doesn't really work like that sometimes. Sometimes you have to play the game. I've been talking to everybody lately about wanting to start some kind of artistic project or start a new business, find a way to get out of that humdrum routine of your frustrating, boring job that you have working for the man. By the way, did you guys see my recent pick a card reading called What Are Your Artistic Gifts? What kind of artist are you? Definitely check that reading out. It will help you kind of narrow down or at least provide some options for you if you listen to all of the cards on what exactly you can do as an artist. But something I've been telling everybody lately is these days, everything is online. Everything's about social media. You might be able to start a job through word of mouth. I actually had a really awesome career as an infant swim teacher, and I didn't even have business cards. I wasn't on the internet, and this business took off by word of mouth. So yes, that can happen. That can be a possibility. But for most of you guys, starting this business is going to require you to actually make an Instagram or make a LinkedIn profile or make a YouTube, make a website, start putting your stuff out there on the internet. So yes, you're gonna have to play the game. So this is talking about you kind of getting into that mode of wearing that mask in a positive way, playing the game. I realized if I wanted to do tarot online, I was gonna have to play the game. And so I learned how to do camera makeup. I got my highlight on, I got my lip liner. I learned how to play the game. It was frustrating because I was like, wow, I really wish I could just hit play on my camera in my room and these videos to go well. But with bad lighting, not paying attention to my appearance, bad hair, not saying that we need all these artificial things to make us beautiful or anything. Beauty comes from the inside out, but I do notice that I get a better response when I take the time to play the game, do my hair, do my makeup, get out somewhere beautiful with good lighting, and you know, to do and deliver my readings in that way. So you might have to play the game. Taking a selfie, getting in front of the camera, it might be frustrating. I don't like social media, to be honest with you guys. If it wasn't for this business and my fashion business, I'd be one of those people that just isn't like on the internet at all, and I like my privacy, but I've had to kind of sacrifice that in order to build the businesses I've built, and I've had to play the game. So they're talking about, you know, sometimes you have to wear the mask and play the game, especially in negotiations, business situations, and politics. They're saying this doesn't mean to resort to hurtful or unethical or illegal things. It's just talking about trying to put on that positive mask of, you know, being able to perform your artwork or being able to put yourself out there. And so I'm just gonna skim this real quick. I'm definitely getting downloads. This is talking about being careful with the people that you work with, because this is the card of trickery. And so maybe in your situation, I've talked with many people who have gotten a business partner because they feel like they need help and they feel like they can't do it alone. And then this person ends up backfiring on them, and then the business ends or something. Well, you got to be careful who you work with. You got to really be careful who you depend on, and make sure you depend on yourself first, and be very careful when you give responsibilities away to other people. So basically your next step is to play the game. Your next step, whatever that means for you, you're gonna have to play the game. You know, if you want to be a singer, you're gonna have to practice. You might have to hire a tutor. You might have to get comfortable in front of the camera. You might have to practice performing on stage. You can't just, if you want to sing on that level, if you want to take it to the next level, you can't just sing in your closet and in your room and expect someone to come find you there and discover you. I was actually talking to my partner on the way here. He was saying he was really frustrated because we're on this trip and he feels like he doesn't have any friends, and like he really wants to connect with people. And so I told him, like, well, like, reach out and find someone to connect with. Use the internet, use Instagram. Like, that's how I made most of my friends, is just by finding people that were interested in things I was interested in, searching the hashtags, finding people who are going to be where I'm at or where I live, and DMing them and asking them, like, you want to meet up? Like, let's trade services or let's collaborate or something. And so he was realizing, oh yeah, like, I guess if I do want a friend, if I do want someone, like, I have to go out and get it. So this is basically saying, if you want something, you have to go out and get it. You have to be the person that decides and takes that step and takes that leap of faith. That can be hard when you're an empath, when you're really introverted, when you've been burned and you've been screwed over by people time and time again. But always protect yourself with healthy boundaries. Might as well online look up the signs of abusers and narcissistic people and people that take advantage, so that you can recognize the signs, so that you don't continue to interact with people like that, so that you can know to move on from someone or a friendship when it's just not really equal exchange. And in my life, trying to put myself out there as an artist, trying to build my portfolio, I've met many people that were just not the right person for me, or that were kind of abusive, or that were like mooching off me, or like any energy vampires. And so part of this journey has been frustrating, you know, making friends with someone and then realizing, okay, I need to step away from this. So that might be part of the path. It's gonna happen, but don't let that, you know, hold you back from being able to continue to put yourself out there and take risks and meet people, put projects together, collaborate, continue forward with your dreams. Because just know, oftentimes when you plan, when you dream, when you set goals, when you visualize, when you set intentions, oftentimes the answer does come through another person or from a group of people. So you can't shut yourself off to people. You gotta play the game, basically. So I hope that that helps you kind of figure out what that next step is. Whatever your situation is, you're gonna have to play the game, but it's gonna be worth it, all right? So, for those of you guys who choose number 2, excuse me, my nose is kind of running a little bit. So, number 2, you're getting the Princess of Hearts. I love this card. What they're saying is you need to concentrate on the communication of tender feelings, hunches, and dreams. They're saying you're pregnant. Oh, uh-oh. You're pregnant with romantic ideas and idealized fantasies. They're telling you need to balance your logic and your intuition, and you will see them born in your life. This is very similar to number one, but what they're telling you here is that you have no problem with having big dreams. You have no problem with like figuring out what it is you want to do. You have so many ideas. You have so many dreams. You have so many things you want to do. But you need to balance that with your logic and actually take action. So maybe taking action looks like making a vision board or making a mood board, getting all of your ideas in one place. Maybe taking action means finally putting your website up or finally starting that Instagram page to start getting ready to put your ideas out there and start connecting with others. Maybe you need to gather materials and tools and supplies that you're going to need. For instance, when I decided I wanted to be a makeup artist, there was a point where I had to save up some money and I had to go out and I had to buy makeup. And so that was a step that I had to take. And then I had to get the makeup and I practiced on myself, and then I found friends to practice on, and then eventually I needed to find models that I could practice on. And so I found photographers, I DM'd them and said, hey, do you need a makeup artist? I'll work for free. So sometimes logically you're gonna have to give things away for free in order to build your portfolio, in order to put yourself out there. So many people and so many artists, I feel like the big mistake they make is like they went to school or they got them the tools, like they're good at what they do, but then they go out there and they expect the money right away. And it doesn't work like that. You have to give for free. You need to give and not expect anything in return. Continue to spread the word and spread the vibe of what you do. You will develop a reputation and soon people will come to you with money. So this is about being logical. Some of you guys are big dreamers who chose this one. Some of you guys are very talented and you're completely capable, but you're gonna have to network. You're gonna have to meet people. That seems to be what all of this is about right now. So they're telling you something new and creative is soon to be expected. This message could have to do with your love life. So you might need to your next step might be to communicate to someone your feelings and your romantic feelings. So if that applies to any of you guys, maybe this is a message for you on that. And they're telling you that you are very emotional and you're very sensitive and poetic. And so you have the ability to create this rebirth and to start this new idea to move forward. And so it seems like your next step here really is to just take the next step. Your next step is to take the next step. It's like you know what you're supposed to do, but for some reason you're holding back. So you really just got to think about where you're at. Maybe you need to get some tools, okay? If you have your tools, maybe it's time to express your tools and practice with them and create and not give up. If you've been doing that for a while, you've got your product, you've got your thing going, maybe it's time for you to start getting an online presence and start hitting people up and asking, can I donate my services to you? Can we collaborate? And take pictures of that and make it part of your portfolio. Maybe it's, if you're like in the theater, maybe it's time for you to continue to seek out different roles and audition and to not give up. So for you, this is kind of like a keep on keeping on reading. But the thing that's really standing out to me is that you're really pregnant with these ideas, and you have these like ideas and like these fantasies which will come true, but you can't just sit around dreaming all the time and expect it to come to you. You know, you can't just keep doing the same thing you've always done expecting to get different results. You might need to actually take that leap of faith. This reminds me of when I was called to move to LA. I was out in the suburbs, I was making some beautiful artwork, but I knew that I needed to take the next step. I knew that I needed better models. I knew that I needed to work with fashion designers. I knew that like I just needed to be around more artists. And so for me, it was like I had these dreams, I had these fantasies, I was working on them, but what actually helped me turn that fantasy into the reality was taking that big leap and going to the place where I knew that there would be more people like me to work with. So for you, I feel like this has a lot to do with networking. This has a lot to do with getting into a group of people to actually make your dream a reality. And to not be afraid. You might meet some people out there that just aren't on your vibe, but you'll be strong enough to leave those people behind, and the true people that are meant for you will stick into your closest circle. So I hope that this resonates with you. So if you choose number 3, see if I can turn to this. So what you got is the 7 of Pentacles. Let's see if I can turn to it. So what your next step is, this is like the frustration card. So yeah, you're definitely very frustrated. This is probably having to do with money. Maybe you're holding off taking the next step because you feel like the next step involves money. And you're just like, I can't because I need the money for that. I'd really love to get started, but I need money. I talked to a couple of different people who want to open like a retreat center, and they want to do like healing classes. I have a couple clients, actually quite a few clients, who want to go on that path, and I actually share that. I actually share that path. I really want to open my own retreat centers as well. But these people, some of them I talked to were kind of stuck because they were like, I need money for that, and so I'm just kind of waiting. And then I asked them, well, what if you went on the Meetup app and you decided to host events at the park and got people to meet up and to offer free healing to them, or even just $5 or $2, whatever, like $10, whatever you know, charge or not charge. What if you started getting people together and started offering those services for free? You don't need that building or that space or that money to get started. So in the meantime, you can once again offer your services for free and get the momentum going, because it's all about getting that momentum going, you guys. Don't wait for the money. One of my favorite healers, Doreen Virtue, says, first you take action, then the money comes, then the support comes, then the help comes. And so I heard that and it really stuck with me. And so I had this big dream for Rainbow Harmony. You guys probably just saw the video I posted about making a mood board, and I shared with you guys my biggest dream about opening these retreat centers for people who've been abused. And that's my big dream. That's what I wanted to do overall. And there was a part of me that just kind of thought, like, maybe I just have to wait until I can get the money, or maybe I have to win the lottery, or maybe I have to, like, I even worked on manifesting the lottery for a while. Shout out to any of you guys who are doing that. I believe in you. Anything's possible. But then I got the guidance to start this channel, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew, like, I needed to spread my good vibes and, like, the gifts I have and, like, lift people up. And pretty soon people started asking me, how much do you charge? And I was just like, whoa, like $10? And then pretty soon there were so many people, I had to start charging more and more and more. And right now I'm really trying to keep my prices down. Those of you guys who are waiting on a personal reading, just know it's coming. I'm out here today doing personal readings, but you know, it's cool. Like, now I'm making decent money doing this, and I actually do see how this is all going to come together, and eventually, you know, I'm going to be able to raise the money towards this cause. But if I would have just stayed and waited until I got the money before I started any of this, like, it probably wouldn't have happened. So sometimes you're going to be given action or being given guidance that seems a little counterintuitive to what you ultimately want to do. I've had a lot of fun doing this channel. I love it. It fulfills me. But ultimately, I have this other dream that I really want to manifest. And if I decided it only has to come this way and I'm not going to do it any other way, then I would have just been stuck. So you have to be open to guidance. Maybe you're going to be called to, like, work a part-time job, or like take up a new line of work, or do something that's kind of unrelated to what you ultimately want to do, but it might help you to meet the right person or put you on track to meet someone who will donate, or you might start like another idea, like a skincare line that helps you raise the money for the center you want to open or something. So just be really open to the different ways you can make money and different ways money can manifest into your life. And the different ways in the meantime you can use your gifts and your talents to create like a basic version of your dream, and it will expand. So they're telling you, you need to cope with frustration. This is your next step. If hard work has not paid off as you've planned, remember that your expectations are sometimes unreasonable. So I mean, what you want, like, you can have, but basically that expectation I had a couple years ago that I was just going to win the lottery, or that I was just going to get the money somehow randomly without working, without continuing on this journey, that was a little unreasonable. And if you listen deeper, you'll know that the reason you're frustrated is because there's some other type of action you need to take, other than just waiting around and using the I don't have money thing as an excuse. So They're saying be grateful and focus on the present. What can you do right now? And I just realized, well, right now I have this cell phone, cool, you know, that's awesome. I can connect with people, I can give my gifts, I can heal still, I can find a way. You know, I started YouTube. You guys all know how that's going. You guys know the story. So they're telling you to let go of your fear of failing. And you have to have a strong desire to achieve, even in the face of defeat. So you need to continue to let these desires and these grand visions lead you. And even if there's no money, even if you feel like you're not being supported, you have to go on anyways. All you have is the day, all you have is the moment. So your next step is to do one thing a day towards your dreams, whether that's making a vision board, whether that's asking a friend if you can practice your healing abilities or your services on them, whether that's starting your Instagram or starting your YouTube, whether that's gathering the materials and the supplies that you need. Maybe you need to save $1 a week in order to save up for your supplies. I remember I had this tarot deck I wanted to buy that was $10, but that was, at the time, sadly enough, too expensive for me. And so I literally saved $2 a week until I could purchase this deck. And I saved that by not buying food. I was like, you know, I was like addicted to this like Chonachuri stuff. They sold it like this Indian shop around the street, shop around the corner from me. And instead of buying Chonachuri, which was really hard for me, I saved that money and then I bought my deck. And so you might have to sacrifice something. You might have to sacrifice going out with your friends sometimes, or buying junk food, buying fast food. That's where a lot of our money goes, you guys, if you're gonna be honest right now. And save up and buy that tool that you need. And pray for it, manifest it. Little by little, you will achieve. The money will come. It's incredible how the money just comes, especially when you're working towards your mission and your purpose. You know, if you're spending your money on like stupid stuff, then yeah, it's gonna run out and you're gonna always have problems. But like when you start investing in yourself and investing in your business and investing in your dreams, the money just pours in. Like the universe truly does vote with its dollar. Like if you're on the right path, you will be supported and you'll know like, okay, wow, like so much money has come to me since I followed my passion with fashion and my passion with beauty and my passion with tarot and speaking and healing. And before I was struggling, and I think it's because I was just kind of taking an easy path and just staying with what was safe for me, and buying into that false illusion of like comfort and stability that the man wants us to buy into. You know, they want us to stay in the same place, and they want us to watch their TV, they want us to eat their food, they want us to work their jobs, they want us to be slaves, and that's not who we are. We have talents, we have gifts, we're unique for a reason. So don't wait until the money comes. Let go of the illusion of money. Money is energy. You have the ability to manifest money. Research the law of attraction, research manifestation for money, do meditations, don't be afraid to ask for as much money as you need, and watch the money pour in, you guys. So they're saying that the roots you've planted, whoa, there's like stuff falling from the sky. It's so pretty. I really want to take the camera off at the end and show you guys like what I'm seeing right now. It's gorgeous. Anyways, you've basically planted a seed of what you want, of your dreams, and the roots have dug deeply into the soil, and they're telling you that the garden will bloom in its own time. It's frustrating sometimes having to wait for that money or having to wait for like that thing that you need. Right now I'm trying to manifest an awesome laptop, and it's a little frustrating because I wish I had it right now, but I know I'm gonna have it when it's the right time. So I just know that it's gonna come to me at the right time, and like I try not to get frustrated when my computer is being lame or when I'm having technology issues. I just tell myself like, oh, this is frustrating, but I'm gonna have that laptop when it's time. So they're telling you, don't continually measure your project's growth. Don't obsessively check your bank account. Obviously keep track and be logical and be reasonable, but don't like obsess over the numbers. Don't let that define you. And they're telling you lessons are learned from both success and failures. So good results take time, and each plant or each plan has a cycle that it must complete in its own time. So maybe you're on kind of like a period of frozenness, a period where nothing seems to be growing. Maybe your next step is to continue visualizing or planning or gathering your materials, just looking after your plants and allowing it that time to grow. So I hope that this helps you guys out. I guess these next steps were a little bit more meta than physical. Has a lot more to do with your mindset than it does actually have to do with like taking action. But you will be guided on what to do. Definitely come out here and visit the forest or visit any nature spot you can. And I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see this beautiful scene that I'm looking up at. Do you guys hear that bird? It's like a cuckoo bird, and it sounds just like those clocks. Just makes me laugh. I'm sending you guys so much love and light.